Hello there! Let's get started with the Zoria Plus Foaming Eyelid Cleanser. I'm going to rub it across both eyelids on both the top and bottom of both of my eyes. Then I'm going to spray Zoria Dermal Spray onto my eyes and face. After that, I'm going to apply the Zoria Under Eye Cream just right under and on the outer corners of my eyes. And what about all this redness? I'm going to apply my Zoria AR Calming Cream to calm both those cheeks down a little. Next, I'm going to apply the most fantastical eyeshadow primer in all the lands, Too Faced Shadow Insurance. After that, I'm going to use the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette, and I'm going to apply Heaven all over both of my eyelids. Pop! I'm going to use my Coastal Scents 252 Ultimate palette, and we're going to start with this beautiful light Kelly green color, and I'm going to apply it right above my natural crease line all the way across. So today we're going to be using something new and something awesome. Shadow shields. You will completely understand why we're using these in just a minute. So you just pull the backing off and apply the sticky side wherever you'd like it. Now onto a medium metallic green colored eyeshadow, and I'm going to apply it to the outer portion of my crease and just up slightly, just creating a wing shape. And then I'm going to use an angled brush. Try to get the shape as close as possible to matching, but do not worry if you can't get them exactly the same. That's okay. Next, I'm going to use the Delectables palette by Laura Geller, New York. I believe it's the nude palette, and I'm going to use the color Ocean. Next, I'm going to use some super shimmery loose pigment by Merle Norman. I've had this stuff for quite a while, but it lasts forever and a little goes a long way. And how appropriate is this? The color is Seeing Green. Seriously, this stuff is nothing short of magical. So pretty. Then I'm going to go back over that wing a little bit where I applied that dark green and apply just a little bit more. And going back to that lighter green we started with, just trying to blend the colors together as best as possible. Don't worry, we're nowhere close to being finished. After that, using the Natural Eyes palette, I'm going to add a little bit of Heaven right under my brow line. Now on to concealer, and I'm going to apply it under both eyes, along the center of my forehead, between my eyes, and along the center of my chin and nose. So Poison Ivy, she is an extremely well-known villain in Gotham City and one of Batman's most prominent enemies. Then, using the silicone blender, I'm going to blend it all out. So apparently this plant-loving, humanity-loathing femme fatale was inspired by a short story written by Nathaniel Hawthorne called Rappaccini's Daughter that can actually be tracked back to ancient India. In the story, a young girl who tends to her father's garden of poisonous plants is often isolated there and develops a loving, intimate relationship with the plants. Sounds normal. In the process, she becomes both immune to toxins as well as poisonous to other people, much like the infamous poison ivy. Pretty interesting stuff. Next, I'm going to use my favorite Shiseido Synchro-Skin liquid foundation. Say that 5 times fast. And I'm going to apply it using a beauty blender sponge. Starting on one side of my face, then working my way over to the other side. So, another fun fact about poison ivy. She is immune to Joker venom and is the only villain, besides the clown prince of crime himself, who is naturally not affected by it. That's gotta be so frustrating for him. Good for her, though. And now it's time to apply a loose mineral foundation to set everything. Now, using that light Kelly green shadow we used before and a blush brush, I'm going to apply the shadow along my cheekbones and then blend it out a little using the blending sponge. Then I'm going to apply a little more onto both cheeks. Think of this as your contour color. Then, using an eyeshadow brush, I'm going to apply that same green along the outer edges of the bridge of my nose. Then right under the round of my nose. And just a little more along my cheeks, angling it slightly to create a little more dramatic look. Then I'm going to apply that same green along the edges of my forehead. Woo! She-Hulk. Just kidding. Kind of. Then going along the edge of my jawline and fading it slightly down into my neck. Blend, blend. Next, I'm going to use a white setting powder as a matte highlighter. And I'm going to apply it right above that green line we just created along our cheekbones. Then I'm going to use a fan brush, ooh, fancy, to lightly blend it all out. And just for good measure, I am also going to use a blending sponge as well. No harsh lines besides those wings. Next, I'm going to go back over my bottom lash lines with that dark green color we used earlier. And feel free to touch up any areas you think might need it as well. Ooh la la. Next, I'm going to add more shimmer. Just right along the tops of my cheekbones in place of a shimmer highlighter. And on the round of my nose. And I'm going to add just a little to my fill trim as well. Next is eyeliner. I recently found this amazingly cool duo that has both a liquid liner applicator and a stamp applicator all in one. Seriously ingenious. They're by iMethod, and to my pleasant surprise, work really, really well. So that's awesome. Effortless and super dramatic. What's not to love here? So one last fun fact about the beautiful villainess Ivy. For those of you who do not know, her real name, pre-Poison Ivy, was Dr. Pamela Lillian Isley, and she was in fact a botanist who was injected with poisonous ancient herbs that nearly killed her. But instead ended up turning her into quite a force to be reckoned with all kinds of fun party tricks instead. So after I create a lovely dramatic wing on one eye, I will magically make the other side match. Whoa. So yeah, these eyebrows are not working. So I'm going to fill them in and create a very dramatic arched look, working my way up and out with the filler. Then on to the other side. Then I'm going to blend the brows up using an angled brow brush. Super villainous-esque. Then, keeping true to our villain title, we have to torture something. Why not the eyelashes? After I've curled both sides, I'm going to apply Zoria Lash Mascara, which comes in the perfect smoldering black hue. Now, a dramatic look deserves dramatic lashes, right? So I'm going to use Ardell Wispies. And I'm going to make life easier and use a brush-on glue. And give it a second. Then time to apply. And the other side. Just get on there. Yes! After that, I'm going to use the Urban Decay Afterglow palette to add just a hint of color to my cheeks and forehead that's not green. Now time for the real fun to begin. Let me start off by saying lash glue is your best friend right now. I've trimmed a few ivy leaves off of a vine of fake ivy and am applying lash glue to the outer edges, one leaf at a time. And I'll position them as I go. All right, we're getting somewhere now. Definitely feel free to use as much as you feel really secures the leaves to your head and wherever else you're planning on putting them. Now it's time for lip liner. I'm using a wine color and just outlining both my top and bottom lips. Then I'm going to apply a wine colored matte lipstick on top of that. Super glamorous. Then, because I just love this combination, I'm going to add a slightly darker wine colored lip gloss on top of that. Introducing the one, the only, Poison Ivy. Cue music. Please hit that bell and subscribe, and definitely like this video if you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Mwah! See you guys next time.